What I'm going to do now is to show you the use of the spool command and scripting. What I have here is a script file. In the script file, I open and close the spool file. At the end of the script file, I exit. I'm going to run this script in a DOS window, a DOS shell. Within this script, you can see I've set various environmental parameters. I switched off the SQL prompt, I switched off the headings with both page size and heading off, and I switched off feedback. I've also executed the select command as a concatenation of the ID number and the name. I'm going to run SQL plus -silent to suppress all command repetitions. I'm going to log in as concerts to my database, and I'm going to execute the script. And there it's executed. Now let's go and take a look at the file that we output, the SQL.log. You can see that I've got a comma as a break between the two field names, and I have no headings and no footers. This file could be used, for instance, to input into an Excel spreadsheet. So let's go and do that. Let's open up a spreadsheet in ctemp and find my file. It's called SQL.log. I'm going to open it. Since it's a comma delimited file, I'm going to delimit it with a comma, remove the text qualifiers, and here I have my data in a spreadsheet. It just gives you an example of what you can do with scripting. Variables can be set in SQL Plus using the define and undefined keywords. Headings can be set in SQL Plus either as a replacement in the select statement, or we can set the columns specifically as seen in this syntax diagram. Let's try the first method of changing headings. Note that what we're doing is we're actually changing the column name. Since we're not changing the headings with the column syntax command, and the default headings are the column names, if we change the column name, obviously we change the header. So let's try select act ID as ID and name as act from the act table. This is what we get. We get the column header changed to ID and the name changed to act. Effectively what we're doing is we're actually changing the column name. This is useful in advanced SQL statements when writing subqueries and passing values backwards and forwards in combination with aliases. It's also useful for the obvious changing the heading names. The column command actually allows us to change the format of columns, not just the name of the column and the heading of the column, but to apply, for instance, number formatting or character formatting to all those columns. So let's show some very simple examples using the column command. I'm pasting in from a notepad file, and I'm setting column values. I'm actually resetting the heading of the Act ID column to identifier, and I'm setting the format on the number formatting for the Act ID column to something kind of stupid, but all I'm trying to do is just demonstrate what it does. Generally you use commas for thousands, so you generally have 999,999,999. Since my Act IDs are not in the thousands, there are only about 50 of them, I want to just break each numeral in the number up by commas. Serves its purpose. I'm changing the name of the heading for the name column in the Act table to Act, and I'm changing its format to A10. What that means is it's only going to output 10 characters, the first 10. So let's just quickly run from Act. And you see we've only got 10 characters in the name column for the Act. I've changed the headings and I've broken those up by commas. Now let's do something a little more sensible. Let's reset the format on the Act ID to a sensible value, 10 nines, and let's set the name column in the Act table to 25 characters. Note, setting this name column with a heading Act and a format 25 will apply to all tables that I select from with a column called name. First of all, let's select star from ACT, and we get 25 characters and the number in a sensible format, and the headings changed to identifier and ACT. Now let's go and select venue ID and name from venue. If I scroll up, I'll find that the venue ID is set to the default heading for this column, which is the name of the column, and the name of the venue is actually set to ACT. So what I'd have to do is to change the column name of name, or not the column name, but the heading for the column name, because I'm not changing the column name, and I would change that to venue. And I select once again, and we could use the / character to execute the previous SQL command, and we have the name changed to venue.